Yes, FortiGate firewall can work as a load balancer, and quite good one, by the way. Hi, I'm Alex, and this is Next Gen LAN channel. Let's make it work. FortiGate firewalls are actually packed with features. There is so many of them that quite a lot are disabled by default to avoid overwhelming the firewall's GUI. One of these disabled by default features is a server load balancer. It's like a small F5 or Forti ADC inside your firewall. It also can be integrated with the rest of firewall security stuff like policies, IPS, deep packet inspection. And it has quite an impressive list of capabilities for a non-specialized device, including layer 4 load balancing with partial support of level 7 HTTP or HTTPS and cookie inspection. Multiple load balancing algorithms can be used. It could be static, round-robin, least session per server, least round time per server, first alive. Also, service health check is supported using ping, TCP, or even HTTPS URL checks. It supports persistence, meaning session stickiness to a specific server using HTTP cookie or SSL session ID. It supports netting for both source and destination field of balanced packets. It works the same way as the majority of load balancer solutions. You create a virtual IP and port that clients will connect to, define a pool of real servers that should process client sessions. Sessions will be destination netted to a specific server from a pool based on a selected load balancing algorithm. Real servers can be dynamically added or removed from the pool. By the way, you can have multiple pools at the same time on the same firewall, but for different services. The majority of advanced features are only supported on version 7.4 or higher, but be careful, on models with only 2 GB of RAM, all HTTP or HTTPS load balancing features are not supported starting version 7.4.4, as it requires proxy-based inspection for policies that are not supported anymore on smaller FortiGate models. And of course, as it is not full-scale load balancer appliance, it has some limitations. Load balancing cannot be offloaded to firewall's ASIC, and a significant number of sessions can overload the CPU. Application layer routing is limited, no custom logic supported, and health monitoring for end servers is limited. Also, the number of virtual IPs and real servers supported is limited and is different between platforms. Type print table size command on your firewall and check for firewall VIP real service number. This is the number of real servers supported by your specific platform. You can double check it using Fortinet provided max value table service. For example, 40F supports only 4 real servers, 200F supports up to 16, and 1000F supports up to 64. How to make it work? Go to System, Feature Visibility and switch on the Load Balance feature and click Save. Now in Policies and Objects you will have 2 additional menus, Virtual Servers and Health Check. First, click on Health Check and create some Health Check monitors that can be used for virtual server farm later. The type of check defines the way how server will be tested. For example, ping just sends ICMP packet and check if it gets a response. TCP sends TCP SYN packet and check if a port is open. HTTPS tries to open a URL and check if it gets HTTP 200 answer. Once health check monitors are configured, proceed with creating a server farm. Click on Virtual Servers, and as you can see, all the fields are really intuitive. Type of load balancing defines how deep inside a session or packet firewall should look. Remember that HTTP/HTTPS is not supported on 2 GB RAM models. Interface IP server port defines the incoming interface of the server farm. Health check, that we configured a minute ago, is used to add or remove real servers from a load balancing pool. Load balancing method allows you to fine-tune how exactly sessions will be balanced among real servers using different algorithms. The pool of real servers defines IPs and ports of individual servers. Servers can be in different subnets and can use different ports. Sessions will be automatically netted to IP and port defined for each individual server. Persistence allows sessions from the same user to go to the same host. SSL offloading allows a firewall to decrypt a packet and send it to the server decrypted, or decrypt, check what's inside, encrypt it back and send to a server. Click Save, and now just have to create a policy that will use the created virtual server as a destination, and that's it. In many cases, it makes sense to enable source NAT for this policy, so returning packets from a server will go through the firewall. For monitoring, add a widget to the status page so you can see real service statuses and load balancing statistics. This load balancing feature can also be quite useful for this scenario. If you have an application that can only connect to one IP, but you have multiple redundant servers for this service that have different IPs and don't support floating IPs between them. In this situation, you can use a physical or even a virtual FortiGate that will health check both servers to determine which server is active and which is a backup, and send all the packets only to an active server. It will not be an actual load balancing, but more of a failover solution. And by the way, if you need a high availability pair of virtual FortiGates, you need a license. I hope it was informative for you. Thank you for watching. Share, like, subscribe. See you next time.